Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is the fifth video of our Spring Boot series. So here we are building a CRUD application, and yes, we are starting with the basics. So we are using the list. Please do watch my previous all videos to get in flow with this video. Okay, now in this video we are going to focus on update. Okay, we are going to focus on update. So we will be using two this two annotations, okay, for updates. Why these two? Let's understand first each of them, and then we will be going for a coding. Okay, now put mapping and patch mapping. Okay, so when is patch mapping is used is for partial update. That means we have, let's say we have our employee. Okay, we what we have in that is we have code, we have id, and we have name. So if I only want to update name, that is what partial update. Okay, or if I only want to update code, that is what partial update. Okay, but in the put mapping we update the whole object. Okay, so in that case what we will be updating, we will be updating both. In which? In put mapping. Okay, this is the basic difference. So internally the annotations are same. Okay, technically the annotations are same. They are technically same, but the thing is just the representation, or what we can say, or understanding is different. So if you want to just create a update method which will just update the partial, okay, name or code. So in this case, see, we will send some, let's say, body. Okay, so for patch for patch mapping, let's say we are going to send the employee object, okay, from request. In that case, consider for patch mapping we will get only id, or id, let's say in path variable. What we'll get, we'll get just code and its value. Okay, but for put mapping what we have to send is we have to send both code, and we have to send the name as well. Okay, so this is the basic difference. If you have any doubts, please let me know in the comment section. It's just updating a whole object or updating partially. Okay, so let's start coding then for this. And before going forward, in the last video, we have seen the get API. Okay, where we have used this path variable and query parameter, and I asked you guys to do for name, I did for ID. So I have written already the code, I will just explain. Okay, so here I marked my path variable as required false. So it's not necessary that to get ID. Okay, there will be two URLs for this API. Okay, if anyone hit this, it will come to this method. Okay, so if I am just retrieving, okay, if it is open, let's retrieve. Okay, if I'm just retrieving, it will give me this. So let's add something. I will add one ID and name something. Okay. And now let's retrieve. So it is returning me a list. But if I just slash and put ID as 4, I should get this one. Okay. So I will just hit. I'm getting only this. Again, I can just add the parameter, request param as name, and the value as, if I add Kumal, okay, it will not come because the it both should match if I'm sending ID and name. But no, okay, it is not coming. So if I'm sending only name, okay, in that case let's try this one. If it is giving us yes, so if I send only name, it is coming with ID 2. If we send slash 2, anyway, for 2 what to search, we can send both, or we can just send name or id. Okay, so I did this for coding. What I just did is use these two paths. If I don't want or id, I will just use this. If I want id, I'll just and marked it as false. Why use integer? Because as it is a false, the value can be null. Okay, if the value is null for primitive type, you cannot assign null, right? That is why I use this wrapper class integer. Okay, and if you go inside, I have just updated my logic. Okay, if my both the things are not null, matlab any of this is not null, that means we have to check, or we have to filter basically, otherwise just return the employee list. And for each, I am checking. If I am getting both the things, name and id, then I have to check both. Okay, and then return this employee. Else I will check id. If id is not null, then only check this get id, or if name is not null, only check this name and return. Yeah, so this is what I have updated. If it is correct with you guys, okay, then or else you can make these changes. Now let's build a uh, update. Okay, we will be using patch. So public, I will be explaining both. Okay, so let's say public, it will return an employee. Okay, update, I will just write update name in one. Okay, and here I will take this path variable at the rate path variable as my int id, and request param as a string name. Okay, with the name I want to update the name. Okay, so I will use patch mapping because only partial update I'm doing. So what will be my path? Path will be what? Slash update slash id. Okay, this is my path variable. You have to include in these brackets. And let's write in repository first. Okay, public it should return the employee. mm, Employee update name. Okay, and I will get what? Int id and string name. Okay, and here what we will do for int, not no need of int, I'll just employee employee list. Okay, I will check if my e dot get id is equal to this id. Okay, then only we have to update this name. So e dot, just will use set name as this name. Okay, it will update a name, and then we will return this employee object. And here we can, as of now, we can just return empty employee. If it is not updating, we will be handling the we will do exceptional handling later. Okay, now we have written this. Now let's use in our service is we will create one method which will return employee update name int id and string name. Okay, and we will just return this repository dot update name, and here I'll pass in id and name. Okay, and I have to use this in controller. So I will just do return service dot update name id comma name. Okay, now let's run this. So we have used patch. Next after this, okay, we will be using the put. Okay, and we will be updating the whole object. Now, okay, and for patch also, I have used the name, but you can also use code. So in that case, what you will take the employee object, whole employee object, and check which is not null, like name is not null, then update that. Okay, now let's check. I will create new request. which will be our patch. Okay, and it will be same. So first we have to add as. Okay, as we are using the list as of now, so every time we have to create this. Okay, so 3 and yeah. Now let's first retrieve this. Instead of this, let me just retrieve only this list of this. So we have two. So I want to update the name of ID4, and I want name to be something okay, slash update slash the ID is 4 and name is equal to, let's say I will add some Teja. Okay, method, yes, we have to change that to patch. These are the common mistakes which people do, but yes, understood. So it is Teja. Now let's check with our gate API if it is updated. Yes, it is updated as Teja. So this is what partial update. Now let's do the full update. Okay, I will do a public. I will return the same employee. Update employee. Okay, where I need employee imp. Okay, let's take the ID instead of here. Let's take ID here itself. So at the rate what put mapping and update. Okay, and here with what we have to do is request body. Why request body? I explained in the third video where we were doing the create one. Why we need this, let me know in the comment section why we are using this. Okay, if you remember. Now I will create this update name is there. I will create one more public employee update employee. Okay, employee. Or what we can do, we need a ID as well if user doesn't send ID in that case. Okay. Mm, or we can do the valid check validation there itself. Okay, no issue. So I'll use the same thing. Okay, here what we'll do, employee dot id, then I will set e dot set as employee dot name and e dot set code as employee dot get code. Yeah. Okay, now let's use in service same thing, just update employee and we here we have employee em, employee and update employee. Yes, what's the error? Okay, this is there. And return employee service dot update employee and this employee. Okay, now if my employee, we can add validation employee dot get id. Okay, consider we don't have 0. Okay, it will give us 0. Fine, if we don't send it will give us 0, it will not update anything. Okay, now we have used the put mapping. Now let's run this. Okay, stop and rerun. So what we did, first patch for partial and put for the whole object. Now let's create a new request again for put, and it's the same. Okay, what happened? Yeah, and yeah, and yes. So I have added one. I skipped the video. Okay, I have added this. Let's add this again. Mm, and if I retry, you'll get two things. Okay, fine. What? Let's do one thing. Let's change both name. Okay, as of now, we have not added any validations for one ID. There should be one record. But yeah, and whenever we'll be integrating with database, we will be adding it. For this ID, okay, I want to change the name to, let's say, Sinchan. Okay, so I'll use this put. I will do this Sinchan, and I want code to be something, and let's send. Yes, and if I request this, yes, it is updated. And one thing, why it didn't update the second one? Because once we update, what we are doing, we are returning that. Okay, we are returning that employee, so we are stopping there itself. So it is updating only one. Okay, and if I again do, it will do the same thing. So we will do this validations later, but yes, you understood the concept of put mapping and patch mapping. Okay, so put when you want to update the whole object, patch when you want to update only partial. Yes. So that's all for the video. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you feel this video is helpful to you, please like this video, subscribe my channel, stay updated. Thank you.